So I choose gratitude before the miracle. I choose the joy before the proof. I teach in my body what it feels like to already be living my truth. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of peace. I am worthy of everything good coming to me. I trust what's coming before I see it. I bloom in the dark before the sunrise. I am already whole. I am already free. I am already everything I need to be.
Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome to another beautiful therapeutic helpful session on the Young Women and Wives with Burdens and Blessings discussion platform. How are you? How was your week? I know the week has really been a bit as usual busy for every one of us, but I hope you took out time to rest. I hope you took out time to care for yourself, because you are indeed worthy of love, you're worthy of care, you're worthy of every attention you can ever, think of or imagine to give to yourself. You need to take care of that body, you need to take care of yourself. Unfortunately, I am out here on a retreat, girls retreat, with a group known as Thriving in Colors Women, and we're out here on a retreat to take care of ourselves, to more therapeutic, to socialize and just be girls. I just want to encourage you out there to please take out time for you to take care of yourself. So it's been a very worthy week indeed. Now tonight, this month of July, we have actually been, all about the family, ourselves, and how we can really reconnect with, that family connection and ourselves. And this year is our year of healing, and so every way possible for you as a woman, we're reaching out to tell you that healing is worthy of you, and you are worthy of healing. So tonight we have a social worker, a professional social worker with us, in the person of Elizabeth Adedayo, who will be, teaching us, giving us much broader view on how to strengthen the, and support relationship between a parent and a child. Before I became a parent, I used to have this script in my head of how, I was going to run the parenting journey and then be better than my mom or my parents, and going to be better, do it well. Yeah, I must say that I have learned from some of the mistakes they made, and being able to be based on the fact that I had knowledge, I had access to knowledge. Times have changed and knowledge has really increased. I have had access to knowledge, and this has helped me in my parenting journey. But even with that, I also observed that parenting journey differ from age, the different ages and stages of the life of the child, and also of you as a parent. Now, giving us a broader view, a professional broader view of what it means to, or what it means to support you to strengthen your parent and child relationship, is what our Mrs. Elizabeth Adedayo will be doing this night. Now, before she joins us this night, I want to just, ask you a question. How have you been? How has your parenting journey been? And for everyone who is joining us, I welcome you. For every parent who is desirous to know better, to strengthen that relationship between them and their child, I welcome you this evening. And our speaker is here with us. But before I bring her on, I want to say that we as parenting journey is one that I don't think anyone knows how to do it better than the other. We just keep learning, keep growing, and keep nurturing ourselves. So I'm going to bring her on. Okay, Please, ma, can you please resend the invites? I was about to bring you on the invite and the thing just threw you out. Please, can you please resend the invite, ma, if you can hear me? Thank you. So on this journey, so I was, we're going to be learning a lot. Okay, I'm going to bring her on now. Okay, I'm going to bring her on. She's going to join us. I'm really now angle to parenting. So I've added her and we're going to be bringing her on. So now I have two teenage children. Welcome, ma.
Mm.
Oh
I'm
my
so
goodness, I'm
happy.
so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Like, oh my God, I can see that you came into August this thing.
I came through my husband's
I
some
know, I
Facebook.
joined. Welcome,
Yeah.
ma. How are
I'm
you?
so happy.
How are you?
I was just praying that I don't want anything that's going to obstruct today's section.
Yeah, but today promises to be because it's really needed. Thank you, and I want to
Yeah.
welcome everyone that is with us. I want to welcome Molabi Sadi, Adeshola, welcome Ma, and to everyone who is watching us live from our platform, from this particular platform. Thank you so much. And without taking much of our time, so we're going to have an hour of in-depth discussion. So our professional is going to just take us on and about 10 to 15 minutes, just give us a base to it, and then we go into question and answer. Because I as a parent, man, I want crazy. So I almost like I need help.
Please don't.
So
Please
please, ma,
don't.
take over, ma. Take over, ma. Thank you so much.
All right, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. In fact, I'm really not a Facebook person. I hardly go on Facebook, but since the last time I missed this program, I was really feeling so bad about it. But Mommy Olabisi told me some things to do so that I can get online. And guess what? Yesterday, my phone just went blank. I was like, what's
Oh,
going on? So I just had to um, make use of another device to join, but I'm really glad I'm here this evening. So good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining.
thank you.
Um, we are going to be discussing the topic strengthening and supporting parent-child relationship. I want to thank our hosts, Rosemary Henry Eze, for this opportunity. And I also want to thank Momio Labisi and everyone that has come together to put together this program. I want to say thank you for the opportunity, and I do not take it for granted. So
Thank you
let's
so much.
make a start so that we have enough time to ask questions and talk about the um the topic parent-child relationship. So parents and child. So meaning that parents, mom and dad, and children, either a child or if you have more than one or two children. Now, parents could also mean carers. So there are some people who are not privileged to have both parents them. Some are being parented by maybe carers, guardian. So it depends on. So whoever that has been placed to nurture, we are going to refer to all kinds of parent as parents in this platform. So either you are a carer, you are a guardian, you are a foster mom, you are a step mom, stepdad, single mom, single dad. So we are bringing all of that on one platform, and children will be children. So children, it's anyone between the ages of 0 and 18. Now, this relationship, it's a very, very beautiful one. It's very challenging. It's if we get it right, it can be very interesting. It's very interesting. And it's a relationship that's the moments. If you get the moments right, you forever cherish it. You forever cherish it. There are times where you laugh, there are times where you cry, there are times where, there will be mood swings because it's really a journey. But I hope that at the end of today's section, we would have gotten the best out of it and we'll begin to make some necessary changes on how we parent. So I want us to note that children need more than love. So as parents, so the topic will be more on parents. What can parents do? Because I'll come to things it is expected that parents the definition of parents. But I want us to know that in this relationship, children need more than love. They need to be kept in mind and the heart of another meaningful and genuine way. So they should be in the heart and in the center of every decision making. So children need a relationship where they feel safe, they can trust, they can believe in you, and they can explore. So they need that trusting space, that space that is safe, that space that's secured, that space that they can explore. So children need a relationship or an environment where they notice that they belong there and they are appreciated. So they notice that they belong in that environment and they are appreciated. So now I want us to just go straight because so that we don't use more than the 15 minutes. So parents, we know parents are the external brain or the thinking mind of children. So please let's take note. They are the external brain or the thinking mind of children. So as a parent, as a guardian, whatever role you're taking, you are not just a mom or dad in quotes or guardian in quotes. You are a teacher. You are a safe hands. You are a detective. You are a translator. You are an advocator. You are a moral compass and a nurturer. And so many, so many, so many that we can think of. So I want us to know, for you to wear this cap, you know the number of caps you are wearing as when you're taking up the role of a parent. You know the number of caps you're wearing. You are a safe space. You are the external brain of the child. You are the thinking mind of the child or children because they are children, they think like children. So when they share things, it is expected that you help them understand it and break it down such that they make best decisions. So it is important. It's a cap that you're wearing that is so numerous, so many functions, so many duties, and with your own personal life, with your career, your job, your ministry, whatever you're doing, whatever other caps you're wearing, combining all of these duties together can be very, very challenging. And that's why in the society today, we notice that some parents have lost it. Some parents have lost it. Some parents. So, can we please mute our mic so that we don't
Yeah.
stop? Some parents have lost it because of the challenges, the struggles, the weight life throws at them. They've lost it. But this evening we'll be discussing some of the things we should do as parents to ensure that this journey of parenting children, the relationship becomes more solid, more better, more beautiful. I'm very sure all of us will be reflecting on the kind of, parents we are, the kind of life we are living, the kind of relationship we have with our children. I'm sure that by the end of today's discussion, we can look at areas where we can make amends, areas where we think we can, reset the button and get it right. So one of the first points I'll be talking about this evening is that we should ensure as parents that your relationship or your environment is a safe base. Your relationship, your environment is a safe base, is a secure base, and a multi-level safety or trust. So it's a safe base. Safe base. When we say something is safe, meaning no matter the hits outside, no matter the troubles, once you run into that place, you feel safe, you feel peace. So when children have a home or an environment or a relationship where they know that no matter the troubles, once they go to this person, they feel that sense of peace. They, it helps them a great deal. So that's why as parents, we must ensure that our our home, our environment is safe for our children. So when I mean safe, not just physically safe, is it emotionally safe? Is it emotionally safe? So one of the ways you can achieve that is that as a mom, as a dad, as a guardian, whatever cap you're wearing, always make sure that you keep your words. How to make it a safe place? Keep your words. Don't promise what you cannot deliver. So it's better to keep your words. Don't promise what you cannot deliver. That's one thing as a parent. Make sure that when you say to your child, oh, don't worry, after school today, we are going to get you ice cream, for instance. Make sure you try as much as possible to fulfill that promise. That way, they can trust you, because the child is already nurturing that feeling while in school that, once I get home today, mom is going to buy me ice cream. I'm going to get ice cream for a treat. Now, someone will ask me that, what if in the course of the day, there is a situation or an incident where the child has behaved badly? Will you still keep that promise? Yes, you still need to keep that promise. Now, because you had made that promise before the incident, it's important you keep the promise you have made. However, the incident that has happened will be treated differently. So don't say, because of what you happened today, I'm not going to buy you. No, no. If you have made a promise, irrespective of the circumstances that has happened after you have made that promise, a promise is a promise, so it needs to be kept. Secondly, under still ensuring your relationship or your environment is a safe base, always try to prioritize being present. I think a lot of us are guilty. Let's try to be present. Being present is more than money. It's more than gifts. Being present in little things. There's a sports day in the school. Try to be there. Because when the child or the children, when they look back, they see mom or dad or whoever has come to represent them there among the parents. It's not always good that your child is the one whose parent is not available. We are so busy running after, work, career, and we forget. Let's always try to create time to be present. Let's be present at home as well. What do I mean? When we are home with them, let's join them in the activities. What are they watching? Let's sit down and watch it with them. Know what your child is watching. Know the game they are playing. No, play it with them. So be present. Let's do those activities they do together as children. Let's do it together. The next thing I want to say is that little things, in little things, let's be present. The next point number 2 now, is staying regulated and grounded as parents. So one of the best ways to build your relationship is you must learn to stay regulated and you must learn to be grounded as a parent. What do I mean by that? As a parent, you know that there are different challenges. You want to meet up financially, you want to meet up with, your tax as, job, most importantly, your job, so that you can meet bills, your health as well, your other relationships, maybe your spouse, your friends. Some people have different circles of relationship. You want to meet up. So there are so many challenges you are facing as parents. And sometimes you can have a rough day. Sometimes, unforeseen things happen and it makes us feel so overwhelmed. You must be able to recognize when you are feeling stressed, feeling angry, feeling anxious or overwhelmed as a parent. Now, when you have recognized that, take a moment to calm your nerves. So when you are going back home, don't take the burden of whatever challenges, whatever things that you are facing that day. Don't take it back home. Even if you take it back home, even if, of course, we say that, but sometimes we carry it in. Let's make sure we take a moment to calm ourselves down so that it is unfair on the child or the children to transfer aggression. They are not the cause of the flat tire. They are not the cause of you not meeting deadline. They are not the cause, because we owe them a duty to care for them. We owe them a duty to attend to their needs. We owe them a duty to make sure that everything they want, everything they need, let me use the word need, is provided, not wants now. Everything they need is provided. So we shouldn't begin to transfer aggression to them. So anytime we are feeling overwhelmed, let's make sure that we recognize the moment, take a break, before speaking or stepping away briefly. Now, what do I mean? Sometimes we are coming back with so much pressure, and you get home, you didn't meet the home the way you want it to be, and you begin to shout, say things that are not. It's better you walk away at that time. It's better you walk away. Like, I don't know the examples to give now, but so many examples. You could just get, if you're the type that you are the very perfect parent, that you want everything to be neat, spoon kept, everything should be kept in its right place. And you just get home and you notice that things are not kept the way it used to be. Because you're already under pressure. You begin to snap. Oh, why is this here? Why is this? No, we should we should not allow the pressures we are bringing from outside, we should not allow it transfer the way we engage with our children. We should respond to our children intentionally rather than yelling or threatening or shutting them down. So anytime there's a situation, we should learn to respond intentionally rather than yelling, rather than shouting or shutting them down. So what do I mean by that? If, for instance, your child has made a mess, maybe poured water on the floor or spoil something, it's okay to let them know that you're upset about it. It's okay to let them know that you're upset, but you should, if it's a mess, you could say, okay, can we clean it up together, rather than yelling and shouting, name calling. Our Nigerian parents, sorry to use our African parents, we are so good at name calling. And sometimes when you have had maybe a misunderstanding with dad, or the next thing say, Ori, like your head is like your mother's father's. It is so unfair on the child. It is so, so unfair. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. Some of us that we don't stop at name calling. We are so fast to give the big slap at the back. It's no, it's not right. It's not appropriate. Because most times when we respond, when we react, not let me use the word, when we react when we are upset, we react wrongly. We don't respond, we react. But when we respond calmly and we are able to address the situation. So, but when we react harshly, and at the end of the day, you know what happens? You begin to feel guilty of what you have done. So, if you don't want to go back to bed when you reflect on your day, if you don't want to feel guilty about how you have treated that child, it's better you respond than react. I hope we get the difference between the two. So there is difference between responding and reacting. Most times we African parents, what we do is we react. We don't respond. So we should learn how to respond rather than react. When we react harshly. We react beyond the stretch, beyond the limits, which is really not good. So the third point I'll be talking about, how many minutes do I have left? I'm not even
But you
looking at
have
my
two
time.
more minutes.
2 minutes. Okay, let me just rush. So the next thing is, I think some of the things when we begin to ask questions, I will just talk more about it. Next thing, parents must ensure they notice, they acknowledge and validate the responses of their children's emotion. Now, even as a baby, it's still easy when you have children who are between 0 to 7 years old to put in all of this. I'm talking about in practice, but when they begin to get to the teenage years, if you've not had it right from the start, you need to re-strategize, because I want us to know that the strategy we use in building the relationship of a child between the age of 0 to 10 is different from 10 to 13, from 13 to 15, from 15 to 18. Because when they begin to get to preteens, they are now understanding things better and they want to make their decisions. They want to question everything you ask them, every instructions you give. They want to ask why. And our Nigerian parents, what we do is to shut them out down and say, who are you to ask me why? Are you okay? No, it is wrong. When they ask why, they want to know. Let's take time to respond why we've asked them to do that thing. It's important we take time to respond. Why? If they understand, it will be easier for them to take out that instructions. But when they don't understand. If they do it, they will do it in a way that you might not even achieve the results you want to achieve because you are compelling them to do it. They are not doing it willingly. So it's important children understand why. So acknowledge their feelings when you feel that they are down, they have a mood swing, acknowledge it. You might not agree with why they are down, but it's like empathy. Step into their shoes. Help, let them know that you understand their feelings. You understand, and it's okay to feel that way. Then, when you acknowledge it, validate their feelings. It's okay to feel that way. Then respond. Respond. Help your child cope with their feelings in a calm and supportive way. Let's try to give hugs. Eh? But Nigerian parents, we don't hug, we don't peck our children. Let's hug them. Let's peck them. Let them feel loved so that they can come back to us anytime. When they go out, when they go out and somebody is hugging them, they'll say, so I can be hugged. But when you hug your children regularly, you give them a peck regularly. If somebody is hugging them from outside, they will push back. What are you trying to do? Because they know those are the things we used to connect together at home. So the fourth point I want to talk about before we should view behaviors as communication. So some of the things we need to do as parents is that when children speak, things they say is just 7% of the communication. So please, as parents, look out for body language, look out for tone. Now, body language is very, very important because some of the things the children we don't want to say verbally are communicated via body language. So please, let's learn more about body languages. Let's learn more. Then we should ensure we adopt a parenting style that is warm, that is nurturing, that is playful, that is consistent and predictable. You're warm, you're always smiling, you try to make every moment count. Every moment counts. Celebrate every moment, every small wins, every big wins. Celebrate it. And the sides that are not winning, when we are having issues, let's be there together. When the situations are really not what we expect, let's stay there together. Let's be present in those situations as well, and let's help them get out of it. Then, lastly, we should spending positive time together. Take deep interest in each other and what do your child like. What do they do? What are they interested in? If you don't know, you cannot guide. So know what your children like. Some parents don't even know what their children hobbies are. They don't know what's their best food. Some parents don't know. So some of us we just force and say, oh, this is what we have, you must eat it. Yes, I understand because we don't want them to get spoiled. However, let's find out. Some children might be allergic, but because you are being an African parent, you won't know. Okay, then think smartly. So let me stop here so that we can start taking the questions. And I think some of the things I have to say will address this where we start the question and answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate, you doing this. The first time you came on the program, that was 2024. Is it 2024, 2025? You taught us about
Yes,
stress.
it was 2024, so I'm not. I think 2024. Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah, we
think the
tried last
second
year.
time we had technical issues with Facebook.
Sure, yeah,
And
yeah.
so I'm really like grateful that we got you tonight. I'm super excited, and I want to say thank you for honoring our invite. Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome.
I
Thank you
do
as
say
well.
that we are the ones that are really lucky and to have you know your life, your professional support free of charge because we know what we would have
Wow,
paid for for it. So
thank
thank you
you.
so much. So as you were speaking, I kept saying, I kept
Yeah,
saying, this is what I'm saying. Elizabeth is saying, it might not go work. Oh, I've tried some, and
it
sometimes,
can work. It can work. What we just need to do, we need to start learning to train ourselves as parents. We need to begin to unlearn things. We should not
okay,
remain static. We need to start unlearning
you're
things. It's
learning.
quite important. If we don't want to carry on the parenting style we were brought up with to our
Yeah.
children, then
Mm-hmm.
we need to begin to unlearn things. It's very important. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I remember me telling myself that okay, I was going to do, I grew up with serious being taught with a beating, like flogged with cane and all that. So I told myself, I said I was going to do something different, and I was going to be very playful. But I'm kind of like playful anyway. I want to be very playful with my kids, accessible. I'm going to teach them, be intentional about everything. And when you started, you made mention of keeping true to our words. And
Yeah.
if you make a promise, make sure that promise stands. And
Mm.
that was one of the things I really took for too long. Oh, before I continue, please, if you have any question, kindly drop your. Thank you so much, Olabisi Rachel. And I can see Dr. Taye. Thank you, Mark, for joining. And I can see other people. Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight. So please drop your questions. We're all parents. So I started with that. I really, if I tell my kids I'm going to do something for them, sometimes it's not even what I promise, it's what they ask. And I say, okay, is that what you need? I'm more for the need, then the wants can come, after the
Yeah.
need has been met.
Yeah.
So, and then, so, but I got to see that, there were I was a good mom, super mom, and amazing mom, until they started getting to their teenagers. That's for my older kids, their teen years. And
Yeah. That,
hey,
that year is the most difficulty of parenting.
hey, it was not me. I know me. I don't accept that. I will tell you. Well, I tell my children. I say, see, I did not have my parents to guide me. I lived with people as a maid. So, and I did not have, maybe probably because I did not have option to quote and unquote, you know,
Yeah.
misbehave, or
Yeah.
try to prove that I can be a teenager with challenges and whatever. So, but I found out that keeping to your promise, which is not, it's not a bad thing, because I know that I would say that whatever it is that you continue to practice will actually become a part of you. And you
Yeah.
as a parent, you're also helping yourself build character.
Yeah.
But it gets to a time where they start to take it. They know that, oh, this particular parent will not disappoint. Then it turns to a tool of manipulation, a tool of taking advantage. You understand? And you find out
Yeah.
that something that you have done for years, you have done it for 10, 12, 13, 14 years, 15 years, and now they are in their late teen, teen years, and it drives you crazy, because somehow they have developed some sense of entitlement. It kind of
Okay.
creates some sense of entitlement, and
Okay.
they do not want to, that they do not want to, they have gotten used to the usual being given, or whatever it is that you have promised them, or whatever they ask and you promise them, that it doesn't really give room for them to lack. You understand now? And
Yeah.
you yourself, you grew up to live through lack and struggle, and make choices and decisions out of it. So where is this balance? Because for me,
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
tried to be the
Yeah.
providing this thing, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
now I'm being taken, like sometimes I'll tell myself, if I slap you, if I
Okay, if I understand your question well,
yeah,
let me start with the last parts of where you talk about they've grown to always have everything they need.
yeah.
So, like you said, I want us to really be clear about what needs are. So, what needs are? What are the main needs of the children? It's not just the physical things like food, clothing, shelter, also their emotional needs. Now, if you for things like clothing, you don't want your child to look different. You don't want your child to look unkept because you're trying to correct them. No. So I want us to draw the line. If you want to scold a child, let's use things like there are school trips. Hmm? Don't let us use food as punishment. If you use food as punishment, it's neglect. It's not punishment. It's not correction. It's neglect. So because you're depriving that child of a basic need. So if you want to make a promise as a mom, as a mom, let's start with putting a condition to that promise. So if you want to say, okay, um, for the school trip in this section, you start at the end. We are going to start a new section in September. Be clear about the things, the privileges they will be getting. Place conditions to those privileges. Now, you will, in your mind, be flexible a bit, but let them be clear about these are your expectations. These are the expectations. If you do this, if you do this, if you do that, you get, for example, let me use my son, for example. It's in year 8 going to year 9. So in school, when they behave well, they give them a positive behavior point. When they behave negatively, they give them a negative behavior point. So I tell him, if you don't have a negative behavior point, then I will take you for your sports activities. So we are really clear about that. So any day or week you get a negative behavior point, you will not go for your sports activities that week. So you miss it. Now, because he so loves his sports activities, he tries as much as he can to behave himself well in school so that he doesn't miss out on that activity. So let's always try to place an expectation against whatever treats or whatever we want to give our children. That's one. Secondly, let's draw a line between need and treats. So don't say because your child hasn't done well, you won't give them food. One of the things you can do is they can prep their meals themselves. Let them make their meals themselves. You can say, okay, go and make your food yourself. But don't say your child will not eat. No, I won't agree to that. Or your child will not have good clothes to wear. No. I know some of us, we went to bed without food. I did not, to be fair, because you haven't done well, you will not eat. That's absolutely wrong. Please, no parent should do that. Let's give our children food, because if you don't, they will begin, when they get outside and they start luring them that, for instance, my boy had told me severally that, Mom, do you know how many times they've come to tell me that, will you run for us? If you know what I mean, that's drug. Will you go to Liverpool to make some money? Now, if he's been deprived of good food at home, he will jump at the opportunity. Oh, if I make money, I will eat very well before I get home. So please, there are some things you shouldn't use at all as a way to correct children. Don't use it. Food, clothing, let them look good, let them eat well. There are other areas we can put in the, the punishment or whatever, the corrections. I prefer to use the word corrections. There are other areas we can do it. So some of us, what we experience, the kind of parenting we went through, if we use that in this get that age, we might be losing our children. That's the truth. Might be losing that. That doesn't mean we should not be firm. And that's why for teenagers, let them understand. Don't just tell them to do things without them understanding. Sit down and have that conversation. Hear their own views. They have so many ideas. Listen to them. What are they saying? Then how can we balance it? What they are saying. For instance, let me give an example. Now the 6 week holiday is starting, and my boy was saying, oh, I don't know how. I hope I will enjoy this holiday. Mommy and daddy's time. So I asked him. I said, can you write the things, your expectations for this holiday? What you think if you do, it will make you happy. So he gave me about 4 things, and we already have our family expectations of what we want to do. So the things he gave me, there are some things he didn't put. So I said, now this first point, it's involves money. I said, we already have this family trip we are going for. We are getting ready to do your shopping for the next section. We are also going for another family trip. I think we have 2 family trips we are going for, which will cost money. We are getting ready for the next section. You have a personal trip you're going for, which will cost money. And you're bringing up this again. One of the things he said is he wants to go to the cinema. I said, you can't go to the cinema. You see? So I sat down and I explained. I said, do you want to cancel this your 5-day trip you're going for? You want to cancel it and go to the cinema. So when this, he said no. So when you sit down and help them understand, that is why that definition I gave about parents, you are the external brain and thinking mind of your children. Because they are children, they think at a level of their own understanding. What your role is to come in and help them understand to make better decisions. I hope I've answered your question, ma.
Yes, thank you, ma. Well, but it is well. Okay,
Ma,
so
we
there's
need
one
to
thing.
train ourselves
Yeah,
to,
no,
yeah,
there's one thing I want to say that I will give myself kudos, for how far I have. I didn't have the professional tutoring or what we are having this night. I didn't have it, but I just chose to do something different. I chose to do everything that I chose to do with and for my children. I tried to do contrary to what I received. You understand? But
yeah,
I don't know. I said to myself, maybe somewhere along the line, I overgave it. I overgave it, and now I'm trying to correct some things. For example, let me give you an example now. In
okay,
terms of what we call pocket money. So
okay,
back in Nigeria, I give my kids pocket money, and the idea of the pocket money was to teach them financial, you know, to teach them to be financially disciplined,
yeah,
self-control, delay gratification, and all that.
yeah,
And but I noticed that these children, I know it's normal human, it's something you don't work for. I work for this money, I earn it. I don't spend it with this speed with which they spend it.
yeah,
So you give them this money. It's okay. This is then I give them every two weeks, and then I give them 10,000. That's what I do each of them, and you find out that a child will sit down and gulp down in a day. Gulp down. It's not feeding money. It's not feeding money. It's just pocket money. To keep for 2 weeks. If you need anything,
you
and
buy,
then
yeah,
spend 3,000 naira at a sitting just to buy snack. And like we
yeah,
say in Igbo, chom chom chom.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then, I talked and talked and talked and talked and talked. I kept talking, like you said, we should talk. I kept talking, I would counsel, I would tell them about the good side of this thing. But now I have a teenager about to leave the teen years, and I just found that I just it's for me. It's just like the talking didn't do anything. The talking and consideration. So now a threat are they threatening, and
okay.
the
So,
serious marking.
so,
And
ca-
it's working. It's working faster.
so,
And
can I
yeah,
just say, for, for, for like the money,
yeah,
if you look at, sorry, I want to like dive into the Bible a little. If you look
yeah.
at that, the story of the talent, the five
Mm,
talent, God gave one five, Jesus gave
mm,
one five, the one that had five, the one that had two,
mm,
and the one that had one. If you see what happened, the one that had five got five more extra, the one that had two got two more extra, and the
mm.
one that had one hid it. So we can use that strategy as well. When you give your children pocket money, tell them that I want you to use this money wisely, and I'm going to ask you how you spent this money. So whoever has used it can give me a good account of how you've used it or what you've done with it, can get extra, maybe 500 naira, for example, extra. So
Well,
don't let us just
I've
give
done that,
them
man. I have done that. I have
and it
done.
didn't work.
In
So
fact,
when you're explaining that, whoever
mm,
that let's remember what that parable I gave. That the
yeah,
one that had one, what did the master, what happened? They took it
mm,
from him. The one that did not use his own one that he did, it was
mm.
taken from him. So
That's what
let
I
them
did
also,
once.
yeah. So let them also know that if you don't use it well, you're not
Mm,
going to have it anymore because it's not a right, it's a privilege.
mm,
You don't abuse free privileges.
mm,
You don't abuse. So let them know. That's why I said, let them understand. Be clear about what you want them to do. Sometimes we parents, we don't explain in depth. So the children do not understand what is expected of
Sometimes the
them.
children self they don't want to understand. My sister, leave. Sometimes you as a parent, you would have talked and talked and talked. I don't know. That takes me to my next question. I must be honest. People say, I believe that parenting is not generic. Parenting is
Yeah,
because human beings are unique in nature and everything.
yeah.
So I cannot, even within within my home, amongst my kids, I do not, act towards
It's
them, the same.
the
Because
same way, yeah, because they are different.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For example, now one of my boy, I give them the same money. One of my boy, my younger son, will will not ask me for things as little as pen, a notebook. He will spend his pocket money to buy that.
By
But
those things, yeah.
my older son will spend his pocket money for pleasure, and then expect me to still come and buy pen and notebook for him. Something that he would have gotten from, this. So when it comes to both of them, I don't, you talk about we not reacting, but I don't respond. That's the question. I don't respond with the same intensity or the same way
Yeah.
with them. And I, like you mentioned that we should try to, acknowledge what they do well and all that. I do that, and what I kind of give marking. Let me give you another example that actually showed me that maybe, all the years the gentle part explaining part I did was not working, and that
Mm.
children really deserve different method or approach. And that is like my first son entered university last year, November, and by March my son has repaired his phone 4 times.
He can't go without phone.
Is it the university now?
It
So
doesn't matter. We need
okay.
to put in boundaries. See, let them begin to learn. Once I buy you this phone, and that's why as parents we should also practice it. If you use your things where they see it, say, show them this is my own. Do you know how many years I've been using it? Once I buy you, if it spoils, you have to wait until I am ready to buy you another one. So
Wow.
you go to the library, go and use the computer in the library, or maybe you have your laptop, use it. But a phone, don't worry. If I need to call you, I will call you. You get a school admin number where you will call them. So you come so time for me to speak to you. Don't panic. They will be fine, ma.
Sure. Yes, that is what That was what. So then, because I told him, well, that well, I'm going to that promise I told. It's not more. It's not like a promise, but I just said, I say, see, uh, I'm not. I'm going to bother about this your phone. When you come back, by God's grace, when you are going back for year two, if I have money, I will buy you um a new phone. Now, let me now tell you where this my promise has landed me in trouble. Every sentence now that has to do with what he should do, or what, like I was telling him what to do to be during the holiday. Oh, so I said, do you know that you can, that your age mates are on LinkedIn. Are you using professional platforms? He's learning electrical works, and that's what we call electrician. Do you know that you
Yeah.
can actually, even with what you are learning, teach people? That was what I told him. Hey, he's like, I'm the one that now look for trouble. He said, hey, that is mommy. That's why I told you I need a new phone. You need to buy me a new phone. Hey,
Does he have a laptop?
no, not yet. I'm supposed to
Okay.
get it, but I'm going to get him a laptop. Thank you for
So as
even
me he has a
remembering.
laptop, tell him to go use his laptop to do that.
That's what I'm going to do now. So thank you so much. So now you still find out that parenting, I will not lie to you really. Sometimes, parenting is a beautiful journey. You
Yeah.
understand me? But sometimes it can be. I would say that my parenting now, well, I would not say challenge, it's like a different face of it is with this my child. Like I told you when he clocked 18, I said, you are now an adult. You are now an adult. So my son on his 19th birthday this year, June, he woke me up. He woke me up around 4 a.m. Canadian time, my time, just to ask me to give him money to celebrate birthday. Uh,
But also there are also boundaries you should set for yourself as a mom.
I think
I
that is.
know if it's an emergency,
Hmm,
you can
yeah.
pick. Immediately you pick that call and you notice it's not an emergency. What did I say? I said, don't react, respond. Um, You call his name. It's 4 a.m. now. Mom needs to sleep. We'll talk about this later. And you end the call. So let's learn to put in boundaries as mom as well.
Mm.
As parents, let's learn to put in boundaries. You're waking me up first thing 4 a.m. because it's your birthday to ask me for money. That's not appropriate. That's not appropriate. So if it's not an emergency, softly or gently, I know that our Nigerian parents, you can say, "Ah, are you okay?"
No, I know. I mean, I just got the phone fast, fast. I went back to sleep.
So
Yeah.
just kind of said, it's 4 a.m. right here. I want to sleep. We'll talk about that later. You're not promising. You haven't promised. You said you will talk about it. So in your discussion, you make it clear that please next time you don't call someone early in the morning. The day has just started. You should know 4 a.m. your mom is sleeping. She's trying to catch some sleep to go to work. So it's just that, like I said, we are their external brain to help them understand. So let's not be tired of addressing each issue one by one. Our ways of asking things, ways of communication, let's not be tired. Let's address it. Let's not go to the main thing the child is asking for. How have you asked for this? In fact, your way of asking might make you not to even get it because you haven't asked right. And that's what the Bible says, that my people do not do not get because they haven't asked well. They ask and mix. They pray and miss. So let's also learn to ask right. Let's teach them to ask right as parents.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man. So my
Yes,
name,
ma'am.
we takes me to our time is fast spent, but I must say that this topic is one that we cannot actually really exhaust. And like I
Yes,
also mentioned that it is not a generic topic. You
yeah,
understand? So we're able to expand on it in this question and answer from my own experience as
yes,
I can't say, oh, children behave like this. No, I will
yeah.
speak from the experiences
You
that I
have,
have with my kids. So now, and the topic we are saying is strengthening. We're trying to strengthen it, and to and also support. And I want to say that it is not in this recent time that I found out that um, saying no is also a way of strengthening your relationship with your child.
yeah,
And
yeah,
not giving your child that thing that your child wants is also a way
yeah,
of
yeah,
strengthening. But the thing is that as a mother, well, a mother, what we used to feel before is that, oh, what I used to feel that, oh, I don't want my children to be lured, like you said, like you mentioned. I don't want my children to be lured. I don't want them to be carried away. I want my child to be able to, want to buy a bottle of, soda, and is able to afford it. You understand now? So
yeah,
that's the intention that I have. Not that I want to kind of now build a sense of entitlement into a child. But I found out that for every action which is intended for positive reinforcement and teaching, there can also be the human, which is the child, can also actually interpret it otherwise. And as a parent, sometimes you end up kind of blaming yourself for doing that. And sometimes you don't really find out that it's not as if you don't want to respond, but the reaction comes from a place of like what is happening and all that. So thank you so much, man. Now let me ask but I will ask you two more questions before we call it a
mm,
day. So
okay,
my one question I would like to say is that how like I said, parenting is not really easy. And sometimes a parent can really feel really helpless, or even helpless with carrying. You mentioned, oh, you should be there. You should be
yeah,
a parent to be there,
present,
physically present there and everything. I want to say that one of the things that I learned to do as a young mother, even before I gave birth, and I don't know I was already pregnant having a baby, was to build structure in place, to have a
yeah,
mind or a script of how the kind of children I want in terms of
yeah,
behavior and everything. And I started teaching, and even from baby. I remember I was telling a friend the other day, I said, it was even for baby, I'm a Christian, I started doing Bible study. That then from
yeah,
age 3, I started teaching my children how to read. So,
yeah,
you have build that structure in place, but they are not robots. They are
yeah,
human. They're
yeah,
humans with their own mind, their own choices and everything. So,
yeah.
when should a parent, not feel like a failure? You know, just don't talk to that parent who feels that, oh, with everything that you I have taught this child or these children, you know,
That they
they are
fail.
because they are taking their
Mm.
own decision and making their own choices. Like I told my first, I said, always remember one thing: your choices and your decision are determine who what you know where you go to, where you end up at. I'm not going to lose sleep over it because you are a human being. So how should a parent, what, help us talk to their parent who feels, oh, but I've said, I believe
I've
I've
done
done
everything.
I've done everything and everything, but yet it's not that the child is bad, but this child is being human. You understand?
Yeah.
And making their own choices and finding their own path. You know,
Yeah.
so
So
please help us.
yeah, let me say that thank you for that question. That's a very good question because sometimes we feel, oh, I've done everything. Why are things not working out? I want us to know that our role is to guide. Our role is to guide. Most importantly, when they get to that age where they are also trying to make decisions, they want to make decisions, then I want us to know that some things are learned when they fall into the errors. Though we try to pray that they don't fall into errors that will bring about a permanent scar. We try to pray that they don't fall into errors that will bring about a permanent scar or that will bring about death. So the place of prayer as parents is also important, that even in their errors, God is still able to protect and keep them. But sometimes allow them make the errors. Allow them. Hmm? Because you learn better when you pass through it. You learn better when you pass through it. So don't ever feel as a mom that you have failed if you've taught the right values. If you've taught the right values, don't ever think you've failed and you are still carrying on guiding. It's not really compulsory that they will follow to the latter your instructions because they also have the mind of their own. They want to think out of the box. They want to make decisions. Sometimes let's allow them make some decisions. And then when that error happens, let's sit them down and let them reflect on what would they have done better to achieve a better result. So though there are some decisions we don't want them to take, like for either a boy child or a girl child, becoming a parent at a very early age, because we know that it's going to impact on their journey of education, and it could even affect their relationship in future. We don't want them to make that mistakes. So we want to guide and guide, but for such decisions of having maybe a boyfriend, ask them. Let them. That's why I said we keep speaking, we'll keep talking. Why do you want a boyfriend? What are your expectations in this relationship? Are you able? Let them understand. Are you able to live with the scars? Are you able to live with it? Because this is always the end result of this. Are you able to live with it? If you've done that, you have a free mind as a parent. If you've done that, you have a free mind. If let me use it, if a girl gets pregnant and you've done what you need, the only place where you feel guilty is if you haven't done what you needed to do, if you're not present. And most times, parents that are present, they won't fall on that trap. So let's be present. Sometimes go and pick your children from school. Because you're not going in, you're not going, go and pick them. Maybe they already have a plan to go out, go somewhere. But once you get there, said, I'm in front of your school, you go get there before they come and pick them. Sorry, we are going home. You have break that plan. If you are not available, send someone, support network. Don't forget. Who are the strong people in your circles that your children know that if this auntie is coming. And sometimes as parents, let's also try to connect our children with mentors. Sometimes you might not be the best mentor for your child. And most importantly, when your children get to the age where they think they now know better than you, it's better to get, yeah, it's better to
Yeah.
get a mentor. Your children try to respect people outside than you because the
You
see me
should
finish syndrome is there.
finish. Yeah.
The see me finish syndrome is
Mm.
there. But outside, especially when the person is highly placed, they don't want to soy, they don't. So connect your children to mentors. Connect them. Speak to the mentors. Can you people you trust? Don't just bring anybody into your circle. Make sure they are
Exactly.
people you trust.
Mm.
People you trust that.
Mm.
Can you speak to my child about this? If it's a boy child, a male good mentor can take the child out. And we encourage all of us to go and watch this movie, The Forge. The Forge. If you've not watched it, please try and watch it as a parent. It's on Netflix. Go and watch it. You can if you connect them to mentors, they will respect those mentors. They want to hear them, especially when the mentors are highly placed. Connect your children. Then give your mentor some tips. Please, can you talk to my child? Can you take my child out and talk to my child about this? Can you? Because it will be sweeter in the mouth of those people than in your own mouth. Because of course they know everything about you. They are so close to you. They know when you are playing. You know when you're playing together, you all become mates. So there will be a time once you do those things as a mom, don't ever feel guilty. And we pray and trust that we will not get it wrong. They will not make decisions that will have a long lasting scar.
Mm.
No. We pray that God will guide them. So let's just get it right. Don't let us be tired. Don't let us ever feel that we have failed because that's the trick or debate the devil wants to use. We always keep trying as parents until we get to the final destination. So when
Thank
you
you so
think,
much. Okay.
okay, okay,
Okay.
I don't know
Thank
if
you
I've
so much,
answered that
Mark. Like
question.
I said
Yes.
earlier, this topic is one that see we can have thousands and thousands of questions because
Yeah,
if you see, it's a very solemn, because it's like we're just discussing and really being
yeah,
seeking
yeah,
professional, clarity, perspective, and help, because this one now is not out of emotion. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not just
yeah.
only talking to a parent, but I'm talking to a professional, who knows, how
All
to deal with it.
parents are professionals because you learn by experience.
Yes, I
Experience is the
know.
best
I
teacher.
understand. So I would have asked my last question, but our question, this thing is fast spent. But let me just ask this question, Mark. You just help me like hit the nail on the head so that we are already
Okay,
3 minutes past our time. Now the question
okay,
is about single parenting. There was this video that went round of a let me put it that way. I think the thing was from a young Nigerian pastor saying that if you see a girl that her father is not in alive or does not have a father, don't marry her.
uh,
Cannot, yeah, no, I know it's in error. That's not an issue. So, but this thing is so huge. Even in I for one believe that it is a conditioning that that was put out and that has gained ground. And sometimes when something you focus on too much, before it begins to look like it's true, begins to look like
yeah,
reality,
yeah,
begins to look like
yeah,
so. Because I have seen that you know a mother can be a very good example to a boy child and
yeah,
vice versa. And a mother can, nurture her children, in the absence of a father or father figure, to this
yeah,
thing, and they will be excellent.
yeah,
But the thing is, I find out is that most times all those feeling of my father, my mother is just the human emotional aspect taking over.
yeah,
So recently,
yeah.
a young boy of about 20 came on. I wrote about it on my page. Came on Facebook with his father and was saying, women are very terrible. My mother's destroyed my father for me. I did not blah 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 blah. And now I've gone to look for my father. And I said, what foolishness. And I said to myself, I said, your father left you for over 20 years. You didn't know where he is and everything. Let's even assume that your mother did spoil him and everything. The father did not look for you. He did not bring money, feeding money or support or anything. This woman now trained you. Anyhow. So I said to myself, I just pray that wherever that woman is, she's not bleeding. She's
Yeah.
not bleeding. You understand? Because
And
I said
how?
this boy is acting in foolishness because the best
Yeah,
thing to do to call both of them together and let them talk and there's to you, going to this one to ask and going to this one to ask, and they're trying to make one look like a villain and the other one is a, so the thing is that now how realistic, or how would I put it now, is true of
Okay.
when the
Uh,
father
uh,
is not there, the children suffer. When there's no mother, the father, especially this father figure thing, they tire me. It's
yeah.
not there. But because there are 99.9 responsible fathers who do not even have that father structure and this thing for their children. You understand? And the
Okay.
women keep
Okay.
on talking. So please, man, how?
Okay. So
Yeah.
what I want to say might sound a bit odd,
Mm,
but any single mom or dad listening to this, if you can practice this, it will help. I want us to separate the role of a father and or dad from the role of a partner. Treat, if as a single mom you are hot with the the man who is fathering your child, however, you need to separate him from, separate the role. Yes, he's your partner, but he's also a father. If you do that, two, always never speak negatively about him to that child. Never. Despite whatever he's done to you. Because he's the dad to that child. Respect him as his dad. You can treat him rubbishly as your partner. If you see him face to face, respect. You can treat him anyhow. But as his dad, give him that honor and respect. That child, that example you gave, the boy came online to see all of those things because of the things mom has been saying, out of annoyance, out of aggression, that she's doing all of this on her own. Yes, it's very, very hurting. It's hot. But if we can separate the two, hmm,
mm,
I know the place you can have a lot of tears on your pillows because of because of you feeling hot. But if
mm.
you can try to make sure you don't speak negatively of the man, it will really help a great deal. It will help. This I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying this, I've got experience. I write court reports where parents are fighting over children.
Mm,
The emotional damage it does, all the good you've done as a mom will not be
mm,
seen.
mm,
So please, it's very important, despite all the stress, the money you spent on the child will not remember. They will
mm.
only remember the emotional damage you've done. So that's why I said, please separate the role of a partner from the role of a dad. Never speak negatively about a child's father in the presence of that child. If you do
Thank you
that,
so much. Okay,
you will
go
do
ahead.
well. Let me not say more than that. So
Thank
that
you.
honestly, if you do that, the things you do, that child will forever be grateful and appreciative. And if the father ever asks that I want to be in my child's life, please don't stop contact. Promote it. Promote it. You draw your boundaries that yes, you feel hurt that oh, this relationship had been like this, but don't stop a father from having relationship with their children. Don't do that. That's my response to that, man.
Thank you so much, Ma. For me, I can start here on
Yeah, it's
to
deep.
the
It's
next
deep,
1 hour
but
because I have so many questions to ask regarding that. But really, I want our audience who have stayed on up to now, because really we need one of the major thing that that is that upholds or holds the society together is this topic we are discussing tonight. The parents and their child. Every other thing come after it.
yeah,
Every other thing come after it, because when the home is healthy, it goes a long way
yeah,
in
yeah.
in helping not just the family, the nuclear family, but the society at large. I want to say a big thank you to you, Ma. Thank you so
Ah,
much, so much, so much. You know
it's
me, I'm
an
only
honor.
like you. Even if I'm going to come, we are going to come back in 2027. Me, you know that me, you are our social, you are our initiative social worker,
Thank you.
professional encourager. Thank
I'm
you
glad
so
to
much.
be here. Thank you also for the opportunity. Thank you,
Thank
Mommy
you.
Olabisi. I've been trying to reach you, ma. Sorry, my phone got spoiled. Mommy Olabisi, I did try. I know you can hear my voice. Thank you so much. I
It's
will be back
hearing you.
online soon. Yeah.
So as we advance in structure, don't worry, I will get. But as we advance in structure for the initiative, we are going. We are going to come to you. So please
No
keep
problem.
your
It's
back,
an
keep
honor
your door
anytime.
open. You are going to you may likely be carrying responsibility that is just beyond coming to as a speaker, please, ma. And we are going to be.
It's
Oh yeah,
all
well,
right.
but it is going to be very much more bigger than we have ever asked for. Thank you so much. We do appreciate your support.
You're
We do
welcome.
not take it for granted. Thank you for
You're
sharing.
welcome.
Thank you
Thank
for the depth
you.
of clarity, though the
Thank you.
professionalism, the parent side of it, which you are. Thank you for sharing. We really want to
Thank
say
you.
thank you. And to everyone who have been a part of this program tonight, please let's just say a big thank you to our speaker for tonight. Let's just
Thank
appreciate
you.
her in the comment section. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
And
Thank you.
thank you. I hope we all learned one thing or the other, from tonight. I learned a lot. I learned that I must make sure I keep my promise. I must make sure I respond and not react. That one, me, I'm even guilty. Hey, Chineke. I don't know.
All important.
I think that I don't know. I'm don't, God help me. I'm more of 7% reactor, as in I'm giving you buzz both as it's coming. I you know. So, and we have also learned what though to not to try to keep yourself regulated. You can see that those are the one where apply to me now. I don't pick so. For every one of us, please go back and watch this. And this is also going on our YouTube page. That's Y.W.W.B underscore initiative, the woman's wholeness. That's on YouTube, and on our IG is Y.W.W.B underscore initiative. That's our Instagram page, and on our Facebook, we have Young Women and Wives with Bodies and Blessings Initiative, Y.W.W.B, on our Facebook. Please always go back. See, our listening is loaded, though. It's really loaded.
Mm.
And this, it's not something that you have to pay to get our professional access. Until we come your way next week, Saturday. My name remains Rosemary. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much,
Thank
Ma.
you.
I'll talk to you
Thank
later.
you. All
Mm.
right.
Okay.
Bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Thank
Bye.
you.